Okay. May I?
Yeah, bro, you can take this one away.
Okay.
Sure.
Welcome back to the... Well, not welcome back. We've officially changed the name to the Oracle, respectfully. Jordan, is there... We no longer have our nicknames. I no longer the Scope.
Yeah.
He is no longer Vintage Jackson. We are Jackson Thomas and Justin Horro.
Jackson Milan Thomas, actually.
Milan. And I am Justin Shane Tippany Hoddle. And we are with the Oracle.
Thank you for having us, man.
Thank you for having us on your show.
No, thank you guys for coming. It's on. It's a sad day, really, because there's two things that have happened over the past few weeks. Is one, we've lost money because of egos, and two, it's just I don't like seeing my friends like this. That's for sure. But there is a few things that I'd like to. Now,
this is your show,
please.
So I got my black book here with me. I got Randwick Race 7 on the fucking headphones. First of all, I'd like to thank, obviously, number one, the betting gods. They play a massive part in this.
Amen. Amen.
Secondly, thanks to the boys for the opportunity to come on here and share my jam. And thirdly, to the sponsors at Toyota Caringbah and Cronulla for getting me around. And also, as well, my last sponsor, Mad Dog Ginger Beer. Mad Dog Ginger Beer for keeping me hydrated before and after sex.
I didn't even see you put that in there.
How did you get that?
Yeah.
It's
Isn't there a key for that? Did you set this up?
Well, no, Ice gave me a key. But yeah, shout out to Mad Dog. Looking for that sales job. But yeah.
Well done. Well, thanks for having us. And
thanks for having us, bro.
Just for the purpose of the show, I'll still have the format for you because you do your best work when you come and chop in. I'd like to open the show and give a big shout out to one of my good mates. I went to high school with him, Blake Green, retired this week. Congrats, Greenie. Congrats, Greenie. Like I said, me and him went to...
as we call him back home.
Yeah, yes, okay. Amen. I want to just give a big shout out to him. I've said this before. You can tell a lot about a player with the respect that they get across the game. When posts are put up, the shout outs. In particular, being a 5'8" himself who had to work really hard. He had big raps on him when he was younger coming through. And then, sort of didn't work out in those first couple of years. He went over, perfected his craft over in the Super League, went to Wigan, had a really good career there, won a couple of trophies. He comes back and you see guys like the names of Daly Cherry Evans, Cam Munster, Sean Johnson, all these guys shouting him out, not only him and his family, Sarah and the kids. He's at it, and obviously all the boys at the Knights love him as well. To have the humility to sort of realise, coming back from an ACL injury at our age, we're 34, turning 35 this year. The game's quickened up, and he's just been a great servant of the game, a great teammate to a lot of people, a great friend. So congrats, Greenie.
Congrats. One more.
Jacko, you've got a good little story about Greenie and his time at the Warriors.
It's a nice little anecdote. So obviously, my sort of first full year covering the side was his first year there, and the Warriors have quite a famous preseason. The boss will know all about this. They go out to Bethels and hit the sand dunes in the preseason. Absolute sort of gut buster out there on the black sand. I
remember that.
Yeah, you probably remember that, Sim. It's a vicious sort of preseason training. Anyway, the boys are out there. Blake Green was new to the squad. He had been in the country for all of about fucking 4 days. Anyway, they're out there hitting the sand dunes, and the Warriors were doing a little preseason doco on local TV over there. And they showed this really sort of candid moment where the boys they're in the hurt locker. They're hurting very much like us at Reborn Fitness. Reborn
shout out to
Fitness.
Reborn. Yeah, Reborn Athletic.
Reborn Athletic this morning in the hurt locker, gut busters. A few of the boys start to sort of fall behind the pack. A couple with the old hands on knees walking.
Really?
And there you go. Anyway, Greenie fucking pulls the team in. Again, he's new to the squad, doesn't know anyone really from Borough Soap, and he just starts spraying them. And his message was pretty simple. He said, listen, I've played against the Warriors for X amount of years. I've been in multiple clubs, and we all say the same thing. If you hang with the Warriors for 60 minutes, they'll break. You can beat them. He said, we're not going to fucking break anymore. And it's a little goosebumpy fucking watch at the time, very sort of Michael
When you
Jordan-esque.
told me today on the ride in, I was like, man, we've got to tell this story on the
Yeah,
afternoon.
so it was just a little moment like that, but you could see like Sean Johnson fucking took off up the sand dunes. Like it just gassed the whole fucking squad up, and he was always a fucking pleasure to deal with professionally. His kids fully fucking immersed themselves in the culture.
Yep.
As a young fella thought he was full mouldy by the time he left.
Yep.
Got into speaking the language. They were taking Te Reo. Everyone loved him at the club. Everyone loved him in the country. So I got nothing but good things to say about him, man.
Yeah, if Boston doesn't go on to follow his dad in an NRL career, he's going to take our jobs doing stuff like this. He's already doing media. He's done media stuff for the Warriors. He's done it for the Knights.
How old is he?
He's Boston would be about 5 or 6, might even be a little bit older now.
Maybe 7.
Yeah, so maybe 7 or 8. So
fuck, he's got
he's
so
good,
much
man.
energy, man.
Yeah, he's good. Greeny does these little interviews with him, talks about the teams, who his favourite players are. He loves the Travojevic brothers from his time there. He obviously loves KP and Connor up at Newcastle. So
loves himself a bit of Bunty Afoa as well.
I think that's a nice, grateful for us all for Greeny. You know,
very grateful.
He started.
I
at the
don't know the
Bulldogs.
guy from Burris, so
But he played at the Bulldogs. You should know your players.
I'm joking. Of course I do. Yeah, grateful.
Or do you have you have another grateful?
No. That's my grateful.
Okay.
Grateful.
So moving on to ungratefuls. George Williams and the saga for the Raiders are ungrateful towards George Williams. We talked about there's just been a hot topic over the last couple of days. I reached out to Georgie. I know what it's like being away on the other side of it. I was away, got homesick myself at points over in the Super League. Sent him a message, said, when the time's right, because when these situations happen, there's 3 sides to every story. Mm-hmm. There's Georgie's, there's the Raiders, and there's somewhere in between is the truth. And the fact that
and that's not to say anyone's lying on either side.
No, there's just different versions of what's going on. So it'll be good. Obviously, I reached out to him and said, if you ever want to come on here and have a chat. He said, when the time's right, if it gets to that point.
Dust settles.
But yeah, it's tough because in the players, sticking up for players, and this is what we try to do all the time. In this position, like Sticky's got his mates that are working for Fox Sports, and he gets to leak information through that side of it. I'm not saying I've got any information about the story at all.
I think that's pretty well known.
But I thought what I'm saying is just in general, Georgie's sitting back getting rissoled over the last couple of days. It's fucking unreal that Josh Hodgson come and stuck up for him. It's good when teammates come out and say they have their say on his behalf. But is anything more from your end, Jacko? Being an ex-journalist, because you know that information gets fed to you guys, and it's generally in favour of the club or coaches in any situation. Not this.
Yeah, it goes the other way. I've been fed information from managers before that's very much in favour of the player, and you start asking a few questions around the club, and you find out that's actually not the case. The player is the problem. I have no idea what's happening. Obviously, I've been here, but I understand the back and forth and what seems to be happening here. If I had to guess, I would say that everything you've heard is true, right up until the point where they start to speculate that the conversation that George and Ricky had was amicable and they agreed to split. If I was a betting man,
you're basing that on Sticky's.
I'm basing that on Sticky.
Altercations with players in the past.
Thank you. That's a good way to put it. He likes to redline the engine. And when a guy calls in sick to training and says he doesn't want to play on the weekend, I can't imagine him being super cool, calm and collected. But I don't know.
I can't imagine him being stoked, especially when you're coming up against the Roosters.
Yeah, I don't know. But look, it was awesome. I think Josh Hodgson nailed it. I don't think we need to speak anymore. If you want to know, if you want a full take on this thing, go read Josh Hodgson's latest post on Instagram. He pretty much, and Josh Hodgson's the guy who, remember, this is the thing with Canberra at the moment, man. He stepped down as skipper a few weeks back. You had the Joseph Tarpany stuff. You've had Ricky basically pouring cold water on it every press conference. There's shit going on in Canberra. I don't know what it is, but there's shit going on in
cold.
Canberra. It's
cold in Canberra.
It's cold. There's
and
no milk.
Josh Hodgson's basically...
There's no milk down there, baby. Get that sponsorship back.
Josh Hodgson's basically came out and just said... he can only speak as a teammate and a mate, and he said he's been nothing but fucking respectful. So
I think there's deeper issues down there than what George. Because when you look at the team on paper, and I know they've been missing a few players. They had 3 out last week.
Chance is a massive out for them those last 5 or 6 weeks.
But Papa Lee missing a bit of time as well. That doesn't help.
Rested.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. But he's still missing time. I'm talking about these players rested 7 or 8 weeks into it.
Croker's been out.
He's probably been one of the more. Probably actually he has been the most influential prop in the game in the last 3 or 4 years. So if he's getting rested, it's not good signs. It's not good signs for the Raiders. But let's move on. We'll get into our picks for the show. The Oracle is going to give us his anytime try scorers.
May I speak candidly for a moment about the Oracle? Because I copped a lot of flack for some of my reactions to Jordan's picks last week.
They were outlandish.
So was the reaction, though. It was unwarranted. It was disrespectful. A lot of cultural issues have come up out of it. I don't know how.
I don't know.
A bit of subtle racism in some of the comments,
which is
respectfully.
Okay.
I feel like when you look back at the tape, you can hear the racism in the laughter. So I can see where the boys are coming from back home.
So,
but
I can't fly home apparently now. But
no.
I think, look,
and those are just like little digs at Jacko being a Kiwi and all this sort of. It wasn't too harsh. It was just a bit of a
it was a bit of a laugh. Some of it.
Jordan and I get on all right most of the time.
No, we get along like a house on fire.
But I am gonna respectfully listen, absorb, and not react when he picks Jared Wallace as a try scorer. Because the Oracle,
I think from that
he's
weekend,
from the future. He's not from where we live.
It's not me.
I'll gas him up. He's the future of YKTR sports. Am I right?
Well, this is the thing. Back to the Raiders. You guys didn't ask me my opinion.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go.
Please,
We'd love to hear your opinion.
When Ice and I were sitting around the glass table a few years back, and we decided to start YKTR Sports to cut out the media and create the player to the people. I think once we create better relationships with the players, it'll give them more comfort to come on here and talk about those issues. So I'm looking forward to the future.
Well said.
Thank you.
Said, Oracle.
Very well said.
And we'll just quickly touch on the reason why he's the Oracle. He saluted on Jared Wallace at over $6.50, $8. Nick Kotrick at around $2.30,
$2.36,
and Wade Egan on the left side of the post for the Warriors for $5.50. To be fair, Jacko, you didn't even have a bad day out. You went 2 from 2 to start the round, so you 2 from 8. But you did provide the jam with $4 for Robson, the hooker from the Cowboys.
Yep.
And you got your boy Murchie off a nice little RTS no looker.
Snack
over the top.
nice.
Yeah, it was a nice little play. So really, you were only down $5, but that's a good day at the office. But obviously, the Oracle's gone and taken all the limelight.
Mate, Thursday, Friday, I was the most popular guy at YKTR
You were
Sports.
getting
I
a lot
think
of
that's fair to say.
People were messaging me.
Yeah. By Sunday, I was the white Samoan that was disrespecting the Oracle. So, this is what I'm trying to say to Semi. I'm saying, mate, enjoy the ride. Let it go because they're a savage bunch, the DJs. They'll turn.
Yeah, no, they turn quickly. I've seen it. I've seen it myself when Scope won that $21,000.
Yeah. Well, let's see if we can get 21K this week because
52.
I've got we'll Simi's one's 52. Disappointing for the people that followed. I don't think anyone's followed me because no one messaged me, but I was half a point off hitting my multi. Yeah. I had Sharks -1.5, and obviously they won by a Chad Townsend field goal, so that hurts. But I've got a little bit of jam as well at the end. We've all still done our multis, and Simi is going to do the anytime try scorer. So let's get straight into that, Simi. I'll let you open. Would you like to open with the anytime try scorer for the Bronx and Storm? And then we'll talk about the game.
I'm going to go someone safe because it works in with my multi.
Okay.
I'm going Justin Olam.
Yeah, nice pick.
He's a fan favourite here.
What's Olam paying?
He's paying $1.88.
Yep.
It works in with my multi. So
you think they're going to put a bit of a score on Brisbane?
I think playing the Roosters last week and getting up the Broncos, I think they're going to have a bit of confidence going into this game. So
it's a fair point. And I want to give a shout out my little bit on that for the Broncos. Shout out to the vets, a couple of vets that have, they've always talked about the Broncos being a young team and not really having that leadership. A couple of guys that stood up last week, Albert Kelly, Dale Copley and David Mead all had really big games. A couple of veterans that probably people
scoot David Mead.
David Mead is a fucking really solid NRL player. Yeah. He went over to the Super League, killed it over there for the Catalan Dragons. They're a team that I pay a lot of attention to, being an ex-player over there. He killed it over there. He comes back. And, even guys like Corey Oates who come on and just injected some seniority back into that team. It seems to be doing, they're still, down the bottom, the Broncos, but they're playing a lot better compared to what they were playing last year with all these young kids.
If Tavita Pangai Jr. plays like that, they are legitimately a chance of beating anyone not named fucking Melbourne or Penrith. Tavita can change a game. He unsettled the Roosters from the jump. He was carrying strong. He's got the offload of fucking Doom whenever he wants it as well because you can't get the guy up high.
Yeah.
Not just because he'll go to the bin, but he's just too fucking big and strong. So if Tavita turns up like that, man, they're a fucking red hot chance.
I love how he turned from, normally he's the guy that goes after people and tries to inspire his team. He turned into the antagonizer on the weekend against the Roosters. He seemed to enjoy that Radley was coming after him and giving away penalties. So
the humble ones in front of the ref as well. Like, it's not me, man. Which we love.
It was pretty funny. So he's off contract at the end of the year. He's playing himself into a really big contract, I think.
They got to fucking sign him up as well, considering what they've lost
I can
in
see
the
him going
last.
to the Bulldogs.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm going the Storm boys in that one.
Yeah, so will I.
I'm going to be going to Storm too.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next game. A replay of a game that was about 3 or 4 weeks ago. Bit up and down that game, and I think this will be pretty similar. Cowboys versus the Warriors. Warriors times, not Warriors. Rhys Walsh times RTS is what I've written down. Roger goes to the wing. I think there'll be some interchanging happening between them, but the kid's got it, man.
He's got it.
Beautiful. You're frothing in the group chat on fucking Friday night.
Beautiful.
Again, I'm not sure if there's a better looking duo in the game right now than Rhys Walsh and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck. I'd love to hear it if someone's got an argument. There's a lot of good-looking guys going around. Obviously, Cam Murray's a fucking sort. Yeah, Cam Murray. I'm talking as a tandem, RTS and Rhys Walsh.
You're forgetting about the 257 boys up in Newcastle. They go right.
Great argument. Yep. I'm taking Snacky Walsh.
Yep.
Speaking of young snacks, here comes Caleb Denton. But yeah, my boys are favourites at $1.77. I think they squeak home. It's going to be another close one. No Jason Taumalolo is obviously the big out.
Yep.
He's one of the victims of this new crackdown on the head highs. Should he be suspended? Probably not, but fuck me, I'm grateful that he is for this game. I do not want to see Jason Taumalolo this week. Any other week, love to see him out there. One of my favourite players to watch, not against the boys. So up there in Townsville, I think the boys can squeak home. Another Rhys Walsh clinic, they should get it done.
Kalen Ponga-ish. Is that a word? Ponga-ish?
Ponga-ish is a new descriptive word that we've just made up.
Yeah, just made that up on the spot. I'm also going the Warriors, Simi.
Oh, yes. That's rare for you, mate.
Yeah, it is. And I went back and watched all the games, and he's just way too exciting not to be on. Like, it's just one of those things when you're picking a team and you just want to get behind something in the game, because, you look at the Cowboys team, they're doing really well this year.
Yeah.
We keep raving about the job that Todd Payton's done with some unheralded players, but a guy like Rhys Walsh is exciting and fun to watch.
Too snacky. And if I may, Oracle, just before you,
that's fine.
Before you drop that wisdom in here as well. I thought last week the Warriors, for the first time in a couple of weeks, they finally nailed, and it's not what I suggested. I was like, fuck Chanel off, get Rhys into the halves and leave Roger at the back. That's obviously not the best play, because last week was the best combo they had going, and they properly used Roger. So very much like New South Wales did with Tommy, even though he's parked at centre or wing, he was fucking sniffing through the middle, getting those fourth tackle, quick play of the balls. That's what they did with Roger last week. So I don't care if Roger's playing wing, as long as you use him as much as they used him last week. He gets in the middle, he's got license to fucking roam. Yeah,
well, with the quick play the balls now, it generates a lot of time for wingers. Wingers can come in and float in and out of the games at will now.
Fourth tackle, he's a nightmare. He's got so much fucking leg speed. So sorry, mate, as you were.
No, that's
Oracle, anytime try scorer in your pick for this game?
I'm going for Rhys Walsh.
Nice.
Yeah.
What's he paying?
He's on $2.05.
May I ask how you see it playing out?
It's
not just the who with you. It's the
you
where.
are calling them.
It's almost the when. I think we're at a place where
honestly,
you can almost call which half you say them.
I don't know where it comes from. I honestly don't know where it comes from, but I just see him going through the right hand side. I do. I see him just coming around the back, little offload, boom, just in.
The offload, if he comes off an offload. Like, he snuck around nicely. The Red Sea opened up for him on the weekend when he shot through on the right edge for the Warriors,
but the way he plays,
and then he did the little poo-cunner with the Fijian dive,
the big Joe Rakathoko in the corner,
and then he did the shooter McGavin. He just had it all. Everything. He's got it all in one try.
And again, it's not confirmed, but we know that he's wearing mascara and eyeliner out there, and I'm not angry at it. It looks fantastic. Yeah,
Can I put a request out there too? And hopefully Rhys Walsh is watching. I know he's a fan.
He's a big fan.
He's a fan of YKTR Sports. In the NFL, Aaron Rodgers has got the belt. Certain players, Cam had the Superman.
Yeah.
Rhys Walsh, can you make yours the shooter McGavin?
Yeah. Stay consistent.
Can you stay consistent with that? Because it just, and it's only a little tight one too.
It's real tight.
He's not shooting
real
down.
tight.
He's keeping it
tight.
Yeah. So
That's from
Walshy. Whenever you score a try, please.
And also, no headgear. Great decision. Let's see that face. Let's see the hair.
Bit like my hair at the moment.
Very similar.
Yeah,
very similar.
Very Walshy at the moment.
Rhys Walsh. As soon as you retire, that's exactly what you're going to look like.
What's funny?
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. On to our housemates game, the Tigers versus the Dragons. These teams as well played 3 or 4 weeks ago.
Skip this cunt out there.
These teams played 3 or 4 weeks ago. The Tigers obviously got up in that. I feel like the Dragons can flip the switch on them this time around.
Oh, yeah.
And when these two teams play, I reckon just because of like the form and the way they've played the last couple of years, I think it may be a detriment to be playing at home when you're these teams. And because it's, they're the sort of teams that
you don't want to be the favourite.
You don't want to be the favourite and you don't want to be like playing at home and then, the other teams. Because I felt like the Dragons were getting a fair few boos when Tigers started to go on a bit of run in that game. The Tigers versus
last week.
And that's the last thing you want to hear. And Tigers fans, they're fickle. They're proud. They're proud supporters, the Tigers and Dragons supporters. And the last little bit, Birdie, obviously, showing his emotion after the game, people coming after him. I reckon he's in for a massive game.
Likewise,
he's played up for me. He's been one of the.
He's been the Dragons' best all year.
He's been the Dragons' best all year, and we talk a lot about what Turbo does for Manly. The impact that he's had for the Dragons, because a lot of people wouldn't have had Dragons where they're sitting right now. I believe they're in 7th or 8th.
Yes, the 7th.
The 7th. How many people would said Dragons will be 7th 10 or 11 weeks into the competition?
No, I would have had him a bit lower than that. Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I'm going to go the Tigers just because I think they have a more talent across the squad. Masterstroke putting Dewey out at centre, just collecting on. I'll tell you what, I'm not on anytime try scorers this week. If I was, I'd be getting back on Dewey. Just collecting all the time. So you never know. The Oracle might be seeing what I'm seeing, but I'm going to go the Tigers.
That's not your job, okay?
I said that to Simi. a couple of weeks ago, and it worked. Right. So you know what I mean.
You're right. Luke, you cut that out.
Job.
All right, Oracle. So were you finished, Jacko?
Yeah, no, I'm going to go the Tigers. Simply up and down season. They had it down last week. I think they're back up, but I'd love to hear who, where, and why from you, the Oracle, please.
I can't just pick it all willy-nilly. You know what I mean? If it comes, it comes. But I've got Jack Bird. I've got
Birdie.
Jack Bird.
Hey, I like that.
How
much is he paying?
He's paying $277.
That's jam.
I think, as you said, just the way he plays, he's aggressive, fucking hard in the game. The cunt's all in, and if you're going to score against the Tigers, it's in the centres.
I think he scored a try against who did we play? The Warriors. There was a try about 2 or 3 weeks ago where it was just complete all effort. He chased a kick down and it was about to go dead, and he ended up getting there and get the job done. He's just that type of guy. If you're on an anytime try scorer, if it's going to be a 50-50, he's going to put his body on the line.
He'll bang a few people over and crash over.
100.
Yeah, love it.
And then who are you going, the Tigers or the Dragons?
I'm going Dragons.
Okay.
Nice. They're due.
This is your time to shine, and you believe you could have some overs jam here in the Panthers versus the Dogs at Penrith.
I had a dream last night. I was messaging a few of the Bulldogs players. Some of them left me unseen, which is fair enough. One of the boys said he's actually got dropped from the teams. But I'm going to go the Bulldogs this game.
Nice, bro.
And
back into 21s here on Sportsbet as well.
Yeah,
back into 21s.
They're paying $21 to win.
23 at Tab New Zealand.
That is unders.
I just have the weirdest feeling in my body that if this is going to be the one game that the Panthers lose, it's this game.
Imagine. There's no way it happens.
Don't, man.
I want to say this because there is I want to get it out there because if this is good content, there is no way this happens. And I've gone as far as there's a guy messaged me. He's I don't know if it's Simmy's burner account, but he goes, if the dogs win, I want to come on your podcast. So I said, oh, well, fuck, what's in it for me? And he goes, he's going to buy the Scope Squad kit. So the next drop, and he's obviously going to tag us in it because he's not coming on because
I think anything can happen right now, right? And the Bulldogs have nothing to lose, And I fucking love the Bulldogs. I love me some Bulldogs.
Do you want to give us your try scorer while you're rolling on the Dogs before we chime in?
Well, I've actually got any time. This is this is my multi, right? I'm picking the Dogs to win, but this is for the multi.
Yeah.
I'm going Fisher Harris.
The Fish. I think he's got over in back-to-back weeks. Fish, or maybe 2 out of the last 3.
He's paying $6.16.
$6?
Yeah.
16.
$6.16.
Oh, that's on the multi-boosted, so I think it's just 6. That's right. Yeah, so you got all these boosted. You already put the multi on. How much is that multi paying for?
52,000. It all makes sense.
No, we need it, bro. I'm looking forward to it.
So Birdie probably would have been 270 or something. Yeah, sweet. All right, so you've gone the Fish.
I'm going the Fish. He's paying $6. Yeah.
I'll throw one out to you, Jacko, because obviously Simi won't buy into this. A little scenario with the new rules. If a player was to, and I'm not talking about a key integral player part of the Panthers, just say if Charlie Staines is on the pick and swing, he comes in for a high tackle, wedging in on the fullback, gets sent off in the first 10 minutes. Can the Panthers still win with 12?
By 20 or 30? Yes, they can. No, I genuinely think they'd win with 12.
We think like a couple of weeks ago, the Raiders had Papali'i sent off, I think, and they still got the job done at Magic Round. That's obviously that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful to the Dogs, but it's just I'll throw the Panthers in that. I throw the Panthers in that scenario with about 2 or 3 teams.
That's what I was about to say. It's more how high my opinion is of Penrith than low on the Oracle's Bulldogs, but I'm gonna go Penrith in that one.
The Bulldogs
at $1.01. That's jam, baby.
Yeah, chuck that in every multi.
The Bulldogs, man. Something about the Bulldogs, eh?
Okay.
The boys are saying that I'm the Drake of the Bulldogs.
Would you like? Yeah. So let's address that. You would like to be the official Drake of the Bulldogs?
I think if I was,
they kind of need it as an organisation, don't they?
I think if I was brought on to be a part of the media team at the Bulldogs, I think not only will we get the fans more engaged after a tough season, but also as well the memberships coming into next season will go up. I just think.
But let's not fuck around. You got to see a bit of.
You're going to need the Bunsen for sure.
You're not turning
what sort of Bunsen are we talking to get?
Let's say we want Jordan Simi.
To get Jordan Simi as an ambassador for the
Bulldogs full season.
The Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs.
I'm thinking about $85K.
Yeah,
that's fair.
That's nice. Plus commission as well.
That's about right.
Because I'm going to get those memberships going too, right?
Yeah. So you want 5% of every membership?
I'll take 1% of each membership.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, we got Addo Carr coming next season. They just signed the big fella as well. He's coming back out. What's his name? The boxer.
Oh, Carly Meehan's son. What's his name? Willis
Meehan. Yeah. He just signed to the Dogs for next season.
Matty Burton coming over.
Yeah, he's a young guy that. Matty Burton's obviously going to be massive for him.
And there's another player that I've heard whispers of, but I don't want to say it on here.
Hopefully we'll see if that jam comes out in the future. All right, moving on to which is going to be one of the better games. A couple of games that probably don't excite you, but this one does. Rabbitohs versus Eels. Eels got a bit of a reality check from the Bird gang. I talked about, I liked Manly to win that game. I did not see it being a blowout. 13 plus, like the Hello Sports boys predicted. But
to be fair, they predict it every week, so
I know. But the Rabbitohs also got a bit of a spanking. So 2 teams that got a bit of a reality check on the weekend coming head to head against each other this week. So
I was surprised to see Souths favoured in this one. They're a position lower on the table. They've just been smacked back-to-back weeks, and they're at $1.65 to the Paras $2.25. So they're part of my multi.
Cam Murray comes back.
At the end. Yeah, is that enough to swing the odds? I don't think so. I know Campbell Gillard's out for Para.
That's a big out.
Which is a big out, but otherwise they're ready to go. Their spine's intact with obviously Jacob Arthur, still no Del Brown, but I like Para in this one. I think Para squeak home. So I was a bit surprised to see the odds that high. So that was my nice little bit of head-to-head jam for this one. There's also the start, which is at 3.5. So if you think it's going to be close like I do in sort of that 2 to 4 point range, maybe you want to take the start, but I like Para, man.
I don't like. We'll finish off with you most times, Simi. I don't like Para in this one. I think this is a really bad matchup. You talk about the strength of the Rabbitohs as the left edge. They've been spanked a couple of weeks in a row now. They'll come out firing. Apparently, Wayne walked out and didn't say a word to him after the game against the Panthers. And when you look at that Parramatta team, it'd be interesting to see if is Nakora
Brenton Nakora. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see if he comes back on that right
No,
wedge.
Brenton Nakora is the Sharks back row.
Niokore.
Sorry.
It'd be interesting to see if he comes back and straight back into that right edge, because you look at Para last year, they had a bit of trouble on that right edge.
Yeah.
You got young Jacob Arthur, I believe, on that right edge with Wonga Blake.
Wonga was named.
Yeah, Wonga's named there, but I don't think he'll start. That's with no information. I just think
Niokore.
Yeah, Manly did a number on him as well with Josh Schuster on that left edge, and it favours South. So I think it might be a bit of a bluff from BA. We'll see how that plays out. But I think Rabbitohs left edge will do a number on Parramatta's right edge again.
I think it's going to be a statement game from Latrell. So although I'm picking Para, I think you're going to see Latrell start to bully some men out there. Obviously, after he was fucking leading the Dally M's, get suspended for a few weeks, came back into a side that's struggling, that got spanked. He still had some pretty good moments in that game. I think he comes out on against Para and puts on a fucking clinic, to be honest. But
I'm gonna go South in this one. It was hard, but this happens to Para every year. They start off really well and then they die in the arse. I love my boy Brycey. He's one of my best mates. But yeah, I'm gonna go South. Couldn't agree with you more on the left edge. It's gonna be a fucking nightmare out there for the boys at Para. So I'm gonna go Dan Gagai.
Gags.
Queensland State of Origin's coming up. You know, State of Origin Gagai hits different.
Yeah, he does. That is fair. What's Gags paying?
He's paying $2.60.
Lovely.
So he's always in the mood around State of Origin game 1. So
yeah, well said. Anything else you would like to add to that game, or can we move on to the Roosters versus Raiders?
Move on.
All right, I'm going Roosters, and I've written down, is Sam Walker Queensland Smoky if Munster's out?
Ooh.
Nah.
My retort is Rhys Walsh, a Queensland Smoky.
Ooh.
If Cam Munster's out. Fuck it. Pick both.
Well, so obviously a lot of talk has been behind KP going to 6. We'll quickly. We don't have to touch. I'm just saying it would be
with Bremo to fullback. I'd like to hear your logic. Yeah.
No, but I think that's the consensus. That will be the combination. But fuck, it'd be cool for them to see give Sammy Walker. Benny Hunt comes into the mix as well. No. Mudders has played there before. But yeah, I think if you're looking towards the future, and we've talked about,
I think they'll bring him into the squad.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, he's too small for Origin. You know what I mean? Get bullied out there.
Yeah, be coming up against, if he was playing Ches plays right edge, he'll be left. He'd most likely be coming up against Turbo.
Yuck.
Turbo right centre.
That's fucked up.
Stevie Crichton.
How tall is he? About 6'7"?
Stevie Crichton and Nathan Cleary. So do you want to bring a kid into that sort of situation? Probably better off going KP.
Nah.
Because he can sit on the left side of the field and kick left-footed as well.
With Tedesco coming out of the back of a bit of shape just to throw something out at you.
It's very scary. I talked myself out of that, Sam Walker. Thanks for being a part of that.
And I also I hope Rhys Walsh doesn't get picked because I hope he chooses his allegiance to the mighty.
Yeah, Kiwis. Yeah, let's see him playing for the Kiwis, doing the Pukanas before he scores and all.
Yeah. Cultural appropriation.
Roosters. I'm taking the Roosters, Simi.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Roosters at any time.
Yep.
It's Joseph Manu.
Joe Manu. Very few safe options this week, haven't you?
Well, it's just it's a part of the multi.
Yeah.
I had to bully my way into any time, so this is a part of the bigger picture for all of us.
Well played.
I'm about to pay off your mum's rent. So I'm going Joseph Manu. He's playing $2.70.
$2.70 is a good price.
Great price.
It was at about $2.30 last week and didn't cross, so they've
plays right side. He'll have Sebastian Chris
Raiders
against him, and is Rapana playing on the left at the moment, or is it Simonson?
+2, you got to think about the off. I always take off field into consideration. What's going on at the Raiders? Everyone's mind frames all over the place. Fucking coming into the Roosters who just lost as well, so they're going to have their fucking fires burning. And Joseph Manu is a fucking animal.
He is an animal and a snack.
So
I'm going to go the Roosters too, mate. I just think there's too much going on in Canberra at the moment.
It could get pretty ugly, even though your Roosters are missing a number of players, and they had. You don't want to play the Roosters after what they. I know they're missing Victor Radley and Angus Crichton for this game as well, but fuck it, when you look at their squad, mate, Lindsay Collins, Brett Morris, Kez, Cordner, Jake Friend retires, Verrills. Listen to those names.
Drew Hutchinson.
And you look at their team.
Put some respect on Drew Hutchinson.
Scope Hutchinson. And they're still competing like they will, and I think they'll be too good for the Raiders as well.
Yeah.
Sharks versus Titans, and David Fafita returns.
Wee. He's my boy. He is my boy.
Is he?
I don't know, maybe. It's early days.
Let me message him and see.
But do you mind if I start?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to do my anytime try scorer straight away. I'm going Sharks in this one.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm going Sharks in this one.
$2.25.
I think and my anytime try scorer will be Billy Goat Chambers.
Billy Goat Chambers.
He's paying $3.70. I think he's just an absolute nightmare with the chat, and I think he'll get into the Titans heads, the young team.
Yep.
I think he's just going to bully them.
What's Billy paying?
$3.70. I think he's just going to bully them, get into their heads, and I reckon he'll sneak in.
I like that one.
I like it. Head noise try. Yeah, I'm going to go the Gold Coast. I know I haven't been very high on them this year, but I think Cronulla are just struggling too much at the moment. Chad's been dropped, I believe.
He's 18th.
18th, so Sean comes back in, which is obviously big for them. But David Fafita, if he's back in the squad, I'll be taking him against most sides outside of that sort of top 8. So
yeah, David's had a knack for feeding on the lower ranked teams.
yeah, feasting,
feeding, same thing.
Well, hey, he can do what he wants. He's bigger than me. He can
True.
feed, he can feast. Yeah, so I'm going to go the Gold Coast here. I think they might run up a bit of a score as well.
All right. Move on. I'm going the Titans. Knights versus Eagles. Are the Bird Gang officially in the conversation to be the team to worry the Big Two?
Oh yeah, they're no longer a smoky.
Yeah.
I believe they're in that.
Have they? Because I the other week I put Penrith and Storm the rest. And I even did tier 1. I got tier 2. I had Manly, Rabbitohs, and Eels. It'd be interesting to see what comes of that Rabbitohs.
Tier 2A?
Yeah. So pretty much Manly tier 2.
Yeah.
Tier 3. Now the Eels after that performance that they put up against the Eels, because that was convincing.
Yeah, it was dominant.
That was convincing, and both teams, I believe the only players they were missing were both Sixers and Kieran Foran, and Dylan Brown. So for me, a fully fit Tommy Turbo, it's hard not to.
No, yeah, I'm with you, mate. I agree. I think they're right there or thereabouts now. I'm going to take Manly as well. KP's back as well, I believe. So that's obviously a massive in for Newey up there. This is the type of game that Newcastle could fuck around and win and blow everyone's multis apart in the last game. They're very much that kind of side, but I think Trebojevic squared is just too much at the moment with both of those guys. Caleb looks vibey. He's in that Salvation Army fit as well, which we love. So yeah, Oracle, over to you, brother.
I'm going to go Manly in this one.
Yep.
As you guys said, they're fucking killing it at the moment. And to finish off my anytime, I'm going to go Tommy. Keep it safe because I'm thinking this is for the whole multi.
$1.30, $1.40?
$1.49.
$1.50, yeah, pretty much round that out.
So that's finishing off my anytime multi.
Yep.
Which is paying $2,613 to 1. Which
Beautiful.
Off $20.
Not bad. Would you like me to chuck 100 out of the kitty on that as well? Or are you just happy to have your bet slip?
Yeah, I would like that, yeah. Should
we chuck the Panthers in at 21s as well just to boost it up for a Bulldogs, sorry.
No.
Hey, keep that same energy about the Bulldogs, man.
That's $52,000 off $20.
Yeah, not bad.
That's nice.
Not bad. You buy a fair few packets of noodles, 52K.
Mate, I'm thinking fucking investing in Bitcoin.
Jacko, do you have your multi to wrap it up?
Yeah, I do, mate. Paying a nice round $5, 3-legger.
I reckon we cut from now. Just thanks for coming today. Thank you. Turn off the camera.
He's probably right.
No.
Look, I'm going to go the Warriors head-to-head at $1.77 up there. Like I said, I think they've got the Rhys Walsh magic at the moment. I think they beat the Cowboys. Tigers over Mutters and the Dragons at $1.50. Into Para plus 3.5 over South. That gives you a nice round $5. Yep. So that's Warriors head-to-head, Tigers head-to-head, Para at the line plus 3.5, $5. That's what I'm going to be doing this weekend.
Yep. Beautiful. I've gone a little bit out there. My multi is $132 also.
Here we go.
Yes.
Here we go.
And I've got 100 on it. I've gone 3 guys that want to be in red hot form leading into the Origin. 2 guys will be competing against each other. They're in the middle of the ruck. They're in the middle of the field against teams. Obviously, you're down the bottom of the ladder. I've gone Isaiah Yao for $5 against the Bulldogs. Mm-hmm. I've gone Tino Fasua Malaawi
Love it.
against the Sharks for $4. I believe he crossed, if it wasn't last week or the week before.
Scored last week.
And I've borrowed Jakey Travojevic off you against the Knights. I think, all three of those teams, like I said, it's more to do with the players and what's coming up and what's on the horizon. All three of those guys want big performances for their clubs leading into Origin, and they're going to be playing around. They all play big minutes. They all play through the middle. And as you've seen, the Oracle has suggested that middles have been crossing a lot lately. Fisher Harris, Jared Wallace, these sorts of names.
Jakey.
Why not? Yeah, Jakey.
Wade.
Why not three guys who are going to play big minutes through the middle of the field?
Yeah.
So I've put 100
I like
on that
one.
at 132 boosted.
I love it, Hoz.
That's just a little kitty 13K. So yeah, it's no 52K.
I reckon that can pull off.
Well, that's from the Oracle himself.
If he's saying it, I might just fucking jump on.
I actually like that one.
Okay. See you next episode of the Oracle.